Yo, welcome back. This is Stu42 with another Minecraft video. Today I'm going to take a bit of a break from the magic, well, ish, I think. I want to sort of move towards sorting out the power situation. I've kind of let all of that technological side go in this pack so far, but I'm starting to get to the point where I just need my machines to work and I need power to be there. So I thought I'd do some work on getting power going. So with that, I am on the roof of my building, which I have covered in dirt, which is now spawned grass. And I've planted this little 4x4 of centerpill seeds here. So the first part of getting power for me is going to be about getting these things harvested and just getting them harvested and put away somewhere so that we can either compress these and run off the blaze rods, or I don't know yet. I just know that I'm going to need some farms, and this episode I thought would be about farms and getting the stuff down there. So what I'm going to do is, the reason I said ish about magic before is we're going to use golems to harvest these. So I'm going to see how that works out. Now, just as you might have noticed at the start of this episode, we are on a brand new big bit of roof. I also have made myself the first tier 1 leadstone jetpack. Not terribly hard to make, but very handy. And it also just lets me, as you can see, I've put those cool carpenter's blocks there as well. So this will let me build up and build that sort of terrace at the top that I'm wanting to do. Not terribly hard to build, just a lot of mats, and takes a bit of time to make, but not terribly difficult. So first things first. We're going to need some great wood, and we're going to need 4 of these reinforced slates, which I've already made. The other thing you may notice is I have an extra wand. I've made finally my thormium embossed silverwood wand, which holds 100 of each aspect. That took me quite a while to make because I had to do the infusion altar thing. So as you can see, I've added a few more crystal clusters and skulls and some candles and stuff. Again, not terribly difficult, just a bit of a process to go through. So I didn't really want to do all that on camera, just because, I have done the infusion thing before on camera a couple of times, and I'm sure by now you guys know how that all works. So first things first, we're going to need, I'm not sure if you guys have used golems for this before. So we're going to make ourselves a couple of wood golems. Oh, they don't stack, you need to put them separate. So a couple of wood golems, and then we're going to need some of the focuses, foci? What are they called? Cores, golem cores. So we're going to need a harvest core and a gather core. Gather core, very, very easy. Nitor, some bricks, and then throw it in, and you will get a gather core with 5 terra and 5 lucrum. So that's going to be pretty easy to do. In fact, I think I already have one of these here. One of the things we can do is, what do we need for lucrum? Gold? Maybe. Greed shard, although it only gives us 2 of them. Oh, here we go, gold coins. 1 lucrum. Excellent. I have some gold coins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Awesome. So that takes care of the lucrum bit. And what was the other thing we needed? 5 terra. Terra should be extremely easy to get. Terra comes from, do we have anything that doesn't, dirt. 2 dirt has 2 terra. Well, does that mean 5 dirt has 5 terra, or do I need 6? Interesting. Where's cobblestone? Gravel, same deal. Cobblestone. See, now I could do, no, that's earth infused stone, I don't want that. Netherrack. You can't exactly get lava. Stairs. I don't know, let's go for, oh, there we go, stone. 2 terra. So if we get, say, 6 stone, because we may need the extra one to make out the balance. So let's get 6 of those. So we have 6 of those, 5 of those, and then we can throw that in. We will have some aspects left over, but that's okay. What was the other thing we were going to need for the other one? We're going to need clay. Where's my clay? we need to, oh, we got some extra smooth stone. That's handy. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so, and then what we're gonna do is we'll probably make a chest up there that's just like a holding point for, yeah, I've made this 2 blocks high, so what we can do is we can put a chest in here, we'll have some piping run underneath, run it back over to here somewhere, and pass it down the back of the building to our storage. And then hopefully, well, the other thing we're going to need to do is convert these into blaze powder. So I've got a plan for that as well. So we have 4 of those. I do have the Nitor. Oh. Yep, another Golem animation core. So one of the things that, oh, there's not a lot of water in there. Should be just enough to do this. I also found that you can do Alt and click. It's a really simple shortcut, but I never knew you could do. So instead of dragging these out, I can just go Alt, 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 and there we go. And then we need to Shift click that. Ah, too late. I was too late again. All right, let's do this. You're never fast enough on the shift click with the wand to get rid of the excess aspects, but that's okay. There was only a tiny bit in there anyway. Let's throw that in there. Cool. Now, what do we need for the other one? So there is our gather one, which means we're going to need a harvest one. Now, harvest is 5 messes and 5 mito. Messes and mito. Excellent. So what can we do with that? So messes, hit you on that. Oh, lots of stuff. Can we get one that's got both? No, they've all got foam. So 3 avocados, 3 walnuts. Walnuts would be good. Peanuts. It looks like we're going to have to go wheat, 2 wheat. So maybe 6 wheat could be good. Pumpkin. Pumpkin's even better. So 6 pumpkin for the messes. And is it Mito like that? Yep. Hit you on that. And oh, we have a hoe. Right. We're going to need to find some more stuff for that. So maybe there's another sort of hoe that we can make. So I'm pretty sure. Let's have a look. I'm pretty sure there's another one. No, can't make that, can't make that. We can make the diamond one, but, you know, that's a bit expensive. The gold one, sure. Amethyst. Amethyst is pretty good. No, can't make any of these. Can make the thorium, can make the steel. Ironwood, shiny. Bronze, invert, electrum, ferrous. No, 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 no. You can make the void one, but that's expensive. Nether quartz hoe. That's good. We've got nether quartz. Alright, so if we go 1, 2, yeah, and grab some sticks. Now I'm guessing that this will have some mito in it. So, oh, and I haven't got my, what did I need? Pumpkin as well. Pumpkin, do I have pumpkin down here? Yes. Pumpkin 48. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Awesome. Need my. There it is. And throw that out. Oh wow, it's got all sorts of things in it. So it does have 3 though, which is awesome. So maybe, look, we're going to have a bunch of aspects left over. I should just be quick with the shift click of the wand this time. So I might just do another one of these. I mean, the other way of doing it is to try and use the files on my distillation jars. So up the top there, where we've got these jars, I could actually grab a file of There we go, so there's 9 of that. I could put 8 of that in something, and there should be some Mito. Maybe I haven't got Mito up here. No, I probably don't. So I could grab each one of those, but I'd have 3 left over. So the only way that would work is if we're making multiples of these, and I think you'd need to make, I don't know how many you need to make, like 40 of each, so like 5 animation cores or 8 animation cores or something. Either way, it's not great. So we can hold our wand and then go Alt, click, 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 and then Shift right click. Look at that, we got there in time. So wasted a few items, but no worries at all getting there fast enough. And we'll just keep some water in there. Cool. So there's our 2 cores, there's our couple of wood golems. We're gonna need our little golem bell thingy. Where did I put that? There it is. And then we're going to need to get a chest, I think. Do I have one? No, we don't. That's easy. We can make one. Now I'm pretty sure cinder pearls don't actually need water. So what I might do is get rid of the water in the middle. I might find a different way of doing this actually. So if we, now this is where it gets tricky, because what I might do is I might put this here, because the golem that does the gathering has a much larger radius than the golem that doesn't do the gathering. So if we place him against the chest and say gather, so there's the gather core. Ta-da! And then what we'll do is we'll put this one in the middle. He's got a hat on for some reason. That's awesome. And we'll put that on there. Now he should run and harvest this stuff straight away, but he's just gonna flick it up and then the gather guy is gonna go and get it. Now he should be able to hold 4, so he should go and grab them all. And he should be able to reach them all. So I'm interested to see how these ones in the end go. Oh, he's getting there. Actually, what I'll do is I'll help him with these ones, because I really want him to get that far away one. Is he going to get it? Oh, he's got some. Come on, little dude. He's picking some stuff up. I don't know how many he's carrying. Not many. 23, 27. Yeah, so he's carrying 4 at a time. And then he's going to pick that last one. Awesome. So these guys are now going to merrily go and harvest these 64 at a time from the 4x4. Pretty damn good. And then we've got also room to put more crops in. So we could potentially put some stuff like some wheat in here. In fact, I'll probably put wheat in there, and I'm not sure what we'll do with these. Maybe we'll need some more of the cinder pearl seeds at some point. But these 2 little golems should be able to do this whole area. Now that this guy is like, yep, so he's set to there, which means he should be able to get to a 4x4 from everywhere. And this guy is bound to that, which is good. Cool. So that's a pretty easy setup for harvesting. I mean, obviously it's not that easy if you haven't done Thaumcraft and everything to the level that we've done, but as we know, this part of this pack anyway, I have gone pretty crazy on the magic mods and not so much on the others. So the next thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to get this stuff from here down the bottom and process it. So I've been thinking about how we can process this stuff. Now there are a couple of ways we can turn it into blaze powder. There's the auto workbench. Really good, doesn't require any power, but it is really, really slow. In fact, it is going to be far too slow for our needs. So what we're going to do is probably use the cyclic assembler. Not the resonant one, we'll have the normal one. So I might run away and do a bit of stuff off camera because I need to make the cyclic assembler. I'm also going to start using the these things, item ducts. I might give these a whirl. Bit of tin, bit of glass, bit of hardened glass. Hardened glass, not too hard in here. We just do some obsidian powder and lead. I've also got this now, the alloy smelter. Again, not too difficult to make, just quite a bit of material. So leave this with me right now. I will come back in just a moment once we've made our cyclic assembler and a bunch of piping, and we'll look at getting this set up so that we should hopefully just end up with a bunch of blaze powder ending up down here. And from there, well, I'll make that the end of the episode probably, and then we'll look at what we're doing with that probably next episode. So see you in just a moment once I've made these things. Okay, I have been away and done a bit of stuff. These guys have happily pulled out not too much more stuff, but it hasn't taken me very long to get what I need to do. So what I'm going to do is, this is about as low as I can go. So we're going to run our pipe along here and then cover it over with grass, or with dirt that'll turn into grass. Now, the pipe that I've chosen to use is this one, the impulse item duct. So the item duct was pretty easy to make. You just make, not the flux duct, you make this one, item duct, bit of tin plate, some hardened glass, normal glass, and then you just fill it with glowstone. So I have quite a bit of glowstone, so it's not too bad. I think it's like 4 glowstone gives you 5 item ducts. So pretty good. So we're going to put that there. This can run. I hope I've made enough. Cool, and it's not going to connect to that, which is good. We're going to go down there. Now let's run around. And this should be coming right down here. Excellent, cool. So we can now go here. We're going to have to do a slight side detour, but we've got power here, which is good because we've got our assembler, and our assembler I'm going to want to put right there, which means we can run our item duct straight into it. This is now powering up with some stuff, which is cool. We're going to need to get a pattern somehow, so I've still got to have to figure out how that is. So let's turn those off. Now, blueprints. Now, we need to, blank blueprint, engineer's blueprint. Those are just projectiles. So we need this one here. Lapis and some paper, I think. Actually, that's a good point. There's machinist's workbench, craftsthink can use blueprints. I think that is the thing that lets us make blueprints. Workbench, bibliocraft, I think it's that one. So we need a chest, tin, copper tin, paper, and a crafting table. Pretty easy to do. Paper, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. We need let's just grab a bunch of wood. So we're going to need need our chest. Now, what did I say it was? Crafting table. Crafting table, paper, that tin, and was it a chest at the bottom? Yes. Machinist workbench, cool. So let's just throw this, I don't know, here for now. So yeah, this is how we can make our recipes. So now we're going to need to have that. Let's grab a bunch more paper. How much paper have we got? Enough is the answer. Grab the blueprint. Throw the blueprint in. Oh, that's not the right sort of blueprint. Might have to figure out what the blueprint is. Let's just run up here first because we are going to need to have. He's picked up some of the. That's pretty funny. Let's just grab a few of those. So this is going to have to. We're going to do that. The blueprint is not letting us do it. Maybe it's just paper. No? Okay, so machinist workbench is from thermal expansion. This is another sneaky way for me to figure it out without going anywhere. So thermal expansion, what in this list looks like it might be a blueprint? A schematic, there we go. So blue dye, so anything blue and a couple of bits of paper. I don't know if that's actually gonna work with that. Nope, it's gonna work, cool. So it's not a blueprint we want, it's a schematic. So excellent, we can now write schematic, one crop cinder pearl, cool. Now we can take our schematic, throw it in here, and that'll tell it what to make. Awesome, so that's the cyclic assembler bit done. But you'll notice nothing is going into it and nothing's coming out of it. Now luckily we have this pipe here at the back. Now that pipe at the back should, if I'm right, be just a plain transfer pipe. So we should be able to go like that. It may output, I don't know, we'll see. We'll see how we go. I'm not sure, I haven't done this sort of bit before. So the other thing we're going to need is from thermal dynamics, we're going to need to put ourselves a servo on the chest upstairs. So this one here is going to be fine. Electrum reinforced, 1 second. Actually, you know what? I've got signalum handy. So I don't really have, I've got 1 electrum, but I do have a ton of signalum. So let's grab some of that. We're going to need a couple of iron nuggets hardened, and we don't even have enough iron nuggets. Now I'm running out of room. Let's throw those back in. Yep. So we have 2 iron nuggets, a couple of signalum. We're going to need 1 of the reinforced glass. And there we go. Oh, we get 2 of them. Isn't that nice? Cool. All right, so now we can run up, throw one of these in the bottom of here, like that. Now that is not draining anything at all. So we're going to need, I always forget stuff. Wrench. Forestry, yeah, forestry wrench should probably do it. Industrial craft, I doubt will do it. Forestry and thermal tend to play pretty well together. No. And he just put that right in. All right, so maybe I don't even need a wrench. Maybe I just can right click it. Yeah, I can just right click it. Okay, so the signal servo, blacklist, whitelist, use metadata, let's ignore MBT, ignore the order dictionary, ignore the mod owner, nearest first, sure, it doesn't really matter where it's going. Whitelist, let's see if we can put that in the whitelist. No, that doesn't appear to be working. What if we go blacklist? What if we do something like just put a random cobblestone in the blacklist? Ignore. Yes, that's still not really transferring anything. Decreasing stack size extracted. Enable. There we go. Ignored. Cool. That has just sucked everything away. There's nothing left in there. Cool. So that's now thrown everything down in our cyclic assembler. Tricky bit there with the redstone control. I forgot to check that. And this should be now producing blaze powder. Okay, so the blaze powder is now... No, it's not firing out the back at all. So what we're going to need to do is replace this with a... What are we going to need? We're going to need one of the item thingos. No, don't even have any of those. So we're going to need to have one of these. Retrieval node for items? No, a transfer node for items. So that's going to be another chest, a couple of stone. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad to make. So a chest, we're going to need one of these, one of those, more of those, more of those, and one of those. Cool. Now we're going to also need a stick to configure it. Well, potentially configure it. So if we throw that on there we go. Now it's looking for inventories. So what we can do is we can now hit this and make it white, which means no things are going to try and be put back through here, which is sort of what we want, because down here, where it's also coming from, is we don't want it to put things into here either. So we'll make that white as well. Excellent. There we go. Cool. So now we should have a bunch of blaze powder coming in here. So there's 102 in there at the moment. That's cool. 102. There's still more there. So what's going on? This is still hunting for inventories. You know what I've done wrong? This is the water pipe, and that one over there is the item pipe. So it's never going to find anything, because this is this one. So what we're going to do, you know what? I think we can have water and items in the same pipe. Let's try that. So still 102 blaze powder. Should be putting in there. This is still searching. Still searching. With a bit of luck, it'll grow. Maybe not the best sort of piping to use. So what I might end up doing is that piping sort of lived. Oops, that piping sort of lived as long as I wanted to. Impulse item ducts are sort of much more my speed. In fact, I think I just saw something come down there. That's kind of cool. And that's still hunting. Yeah, that's going to be hunting for a while. So what we want is we want stuff to not go up back this way. So this is where we need to start doing this specifically. So it's not going that way. No, we need it to go that way. We need it to go that way. I don't think we can configure this one to be anything. So that comes out of there. This needs to be white so nothing goes into it. Definitely want water going in there. Definitely want water going into those two. Definitely want stuff being taken out of there and going into there. So this is doubling up the pipes a little bit. Ah, there we go. It has actually done something. So let's have a look. 102, 166. Awesome. So that's working, but it's working really, really slowly. What will happen is this will eventually get really full. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this. I may have to upgrade the capacity and put a void upgrade on it. Just because we're going to end up with so much blaze powder, it's just ridiculous. The other thing is, if we let it bank up until this is full, this will get full, the cyclic assembler will get full, the chest up here will eventually get full, and then what will happen is these dudes will just leave stuff all over the ground, and that is really bad for server lag. So we try and minimize how many things are left on the ground at any one time. Yeah, it's just not good to leave stuff lying around. So the void upgrade is going to be, as much as I hate throwing things out, the void upgrade is pretty much what we've got to solve that problem when using these golems. Anyway, as the sun sets again on another Minecraft day, that will be the end of this episode. We've done quite a bit of stuff and we've got a good foundation here to build on. I can now put some more farms in here. We can also cover over this. The other thing I might do is I'll replace these transfer pipes down below with more item ducts. I think they're a bit easier to manage. But I'll do that off camera between now and next episode. So, as always, thank you very much for watching and we will see you next time.